I'm Hannah. I'm a tutor at Sky Academy, and we are looking at the topic of algebra, MSA4. Specifically, though, we are looking at the subtopic of simultaneous linear equations, and we have been looking at solving simultaneously. So in the previous video, which was the fourth video, we looked at solving graphically, which is the first option here. And in this video, which is our fifth video, we are looking at algebraically, and we are going to solve through the method of substitution. Simultaneous solutions is simply just the point of intersection, so hopefully this is some revision for you if you've watched the previous video, and it's just where x and y are the same for two lines. So if your graph has two lines, the point of intersection, or where x and y are the same, that is going to be our simultaneous solution. So now let's have a look and see how we solve algebraically through the substitution method. So simultaneously equation, the substitution method. So this is where you make one pronumeral the subject in the other equation. And so you substitute the expression for this subject into the other equation, you solve for this new equation, and then once you've found the value of x, you then sub x in to find the value of y. So this is probably a little bit confusing when it's just words. So let's go through and actually have a go at solving substitutionally, and it should make a little bit more sense. So here we have a pair of simultaneous equations, and we have to solve through the substitution method. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down my two equations. So we have y equals 2x plus 3 and y equals negative x. And I'm going to label these equations as equation 1 and equation 2. So equation 1 and equation 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sub my y in equation 1 as negative x from equation 2. So I'll type that up so you can see what I mean. But sub y as negative x from equation 2 into equation 1. So let's have a go at doing that. So we will then get, if we attempt to sub this here as our y in equation 1, because y equals the same thing, so we can just sub y as negative x. And so then we will get negative x equals 2x plus 3. So that's what I meant by subbing. That's the substitution method. You sub your y equals from your second equation into your first equation. So that's step 1. Step 2 would be to solve to find x. So that's what we're going to do now. We are going to solve to find x. Sorry, this is our steps. There we go. So I'm going to take my 2x over, and I'm going to minus it from this side. So I'm going to minus it to the other side. So I'm going to have negative 2x minus x equals 3. So then that will leave me with negative 3x, because negative 2x minus x equals negative 3x equals 3. Now I'm going to divide from negative 3x. I'm going to take to get x by itself. So I want to take the negative 3 over and divide by negative 3. So 3 divided by negative 3 results in an answer of negative 1. So now I have found my x value. I am now going to sub x as negative 1 into equation 1 to solve for y. So let's do step 3. So if I sub x as -1 into equation 1, so y equals 2 times -1 plus 3. So then y equals, let's do 2 times -1 equals -2 plus 3. So y then equals -2 plus 3, which just simply equals 1. And so then finally, I'm going to write my answer. So the point of intersection, or my solving simultaneously, results in the answer, or therefore results in the answer, -1 for my x and 1 for my y. So that's how you solve by substitution. I'll just quickly go over how I did it, and I'll highlight each step. So step 1 was sub y as x from equation 2 into equation 1. Because y both equal the same thing, both our equations are equal to y, we can sub y as -x into this equation. Instead of just writing y into here, we're writing -x. So then we result in this red equation here. Once we've subbed our y as our x into equation 1, we then solve to find x. And that's what we did in green. And we found x to equal -1. So once we've found what x equals, we then have to find what y equals. And we do that by subbing x as -1 into the equation 1 to solve for y. And then once we've done that, we'll then have an answer for x, and we'll then have an answer for y, and we write our answer here, -1, 1. So we write our answer in the term of brackets, or the point of intersection, which is in the term x, comma, y. And so if you were doing a different equation, different two simultaneous equations, you do the exact same steps as I did, but instead of subbing -x into the equations, you'd sub whatever y was equal to, and instead of subbing -1, you'd sub whatever x was equal to. So you just have to modify to according to what pair of simultaneous equations you have.